everyone. It is January 2025, and this is podcast 4 of Get Off My Lawn. I'm Ann Reber.
And I'm Shelly Pardis.
Thanks for joining us. So it's January here in Montana, and of course that means it's cold and it's dark.
Yeah, and we talked a lot in our past podcasts about how much we like to be outside. So not my favorite time of year. I don't know about you, Ann.
No. So here in Montana, there's a lot of outdoor activities, skiing and snowboarding and stuff like that, and that's not me. I prefer warm, outside. So yeah, I can be outside, but I just don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have to be inside, but the reality is you're right. No, we don't have to be. I really don't want to be outside when it's cold out either. So yeah, I guess to me it's just really kind of hard though. It's dark all the time. I mean, except for during the day. It's dark in the morning. It's dark at night. It's kind of depressing. It's really easy for me to get distracted and lose focus. Which is one of the things that when I can go outside and sit outside in my garden, it helps me to feel better. So, I mean, how do you cope with that?
Well, so January, a lot of seed companies send out their catalogs. So I spend time paging through the seed catalogs, dreaming about planting the garden or planting the gardens even. So that helps a little bit. But yeah, it's a challenge. Like you said, it's really hard to focus because I just feel kind of, unfocused.
Like no direction.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
So yeah, planning helps. Definitely helps.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get the catalogs of seeds though. I feel like I'm missing this really important publication. I'm going to have to get on that mailing list. I seem to get a lot of other junk mail, but why don't I get the junk mail that I want?
Well, yeah, I think once you get on their mailing list, suddenly everybody starts sending you their catalogs, but...
Oh, they probably share our names.
Yes.
Sure.
So as we plan our gardens, what do you take into consideration?
Well, one thing, I want to be able to be out there and be able to experience and enjoy it and be a part of it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just looking. Like, sometimes there's gardens where you're just kind of, it's ornamental and you're just kind of looking at them. So I really like to have that connection to the garden in particular.
So as you plan your garden, what are your goals?
What are my goals for planting my garden? Well, for one thing, I really like the idea of being able to grow our own food and know where that food is coming from. I think that is a big reason for that. I'm pretty immature in my garden right now, so I don't really have a lot of vegetables and all of that, but that's the ultimate goal, right? So trying to get some food in there. Just the different food that you can get at the grocery stores is just not as good.
Right.
And you can't always count on, even at farmers markets and things that are said to be organic and all of that, well, they're probably better. You can't always count that that's really the case. So just knowing where that food comes from is really important to me.
And the fact that you grew it.
Yeah.
That makes me proud when I can eat my own carrots and potatoes and stuff. So yeah, we're still working through last year's potatoes. We don't have really good luck with some types of vegetables. Beans, for some reason, we just cannot get to grow. They'll just sit there in a small state and never produce anything. But I'm pretty sure this year we're going to be going mostly root vegetables: carrots, beets, radishes, onions. Except peas. We had good luck with peas, so we'll try peas again this year. So what we got to do, as soon as it thaws, we can plant our potatoes in March, which is exciting.
That is exciting. I didn't realize we could do it that early.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun because I have a short attention span, so it'd be nice to be able to get busy with some of that.
Yeah, so that means we got to prep our beds. I compost. So what we do, like when we use eggs, we'll let the eggshells dry out, grind them up, and then we'll just put them in the beds, work that into the soil. We compost all of our food except like meat. We don't do that. So that we all put into the soil, and we've been doing that throughout the winter, just putting it on top of the beds. So as soon as the soil we can start working at, we'll mix that in. Which is exciting because last year when I was digging up my potatoes, I actually found worms.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Yeah. That's a good sign.
Yes, that means you have worms too, right?
I do, and actually I have some new worm farms, it's called worm farms, that will go into the earth, because right now the worms, you kind of have to try to really protect them, because when it gets super cold, like it does here, they can't really survive that unless you bring them inside or do something with them, to keep them warmer. So yeah, they're great little composters, those worms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. But this will actually be able to put them into the earth, and then you can put your worms in there, and they can kind of squirm around under the ground. When we get some raised beds, I'll put one of them in kind of like the main raised bed is my plan, just to see how that goes. But the other one I'm going to just actually put right in the middle of the strawberry patch. I got to figure out how they work a little bit.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
We have 20 raised beds right now. We haven't really decided if I want to add more. But that just shows that, how important it is to care for the soil, and by, making sure you have worms, because worms are a sign that your soil is healthy.
Yeah. And
composting. And it's just nice because you're not putting chemicals in your food.
Yeah.
You're creating real natural food, organic.
We went through this remodel, and the whole yard was completely stripped of anything, right? So we're really trying to rebuild just the general soil too. So one of the things that we're doing is planting clover instead of grass in all of our spaces. We live on a hillside a little bit too, so that it's hard to mow. So planting clover is a big part of what we're doing right now, just to build the quality of the soil, because it's healthier. Yeah. And
fixes nitrogen.
And as part of kind of what my goal for my garden is, I don't want to strip the earth of things that would naturally be occurring, and it would help those plants that are naturally there. I don't want to take away from that either.
Right.
So
yeah, that's real important. So just taking into consideration all of that, so what plants are you planning to plant?
I definitely will get my herb garden going. That was pretty successful last year. We have some work that we need to do with our water line this spring and everything, so I'm not sure how much vegetables will get going, but I did get a chance to put in some garlic and onions, and I want to definitely go to some root vegetables this spring. But really, most anything I plant is going to become deer food at this point, so I probably won't go too crazy. However, one thing that I've gotten a little excited about in the last week is I'm starting to figure out how I'm going to set up my little seedling area. I have a grow light. I think I actually bought that from you. A grow light and some shelving that I bought to set up to start growing some plants, which, like I said, will ultimately just end up being deer food, but that still makes me happy. How about you? What are you planning to grow?
Oh, so right now, as far as vegetable wise, mostly root vegetables, because that's a known entity. It's tried and true for us. And then we've also been looking at flowers, because we had zinnias one year, and they're really pretty, and they come in late. So they're a late blooming flower that after most of the plants have bloomed, there's not much left over for bees. So it's really important that, or at least to us, that we have flowers that come in later in the season, so bees have some stuff too. Rabbit brush is also a really good one, because that blooms late, and I see you guys have it around here quite a bit. And then we're also going to do some sunflowers.
Yeah, that's one thing that I want to try to do too, if I can. I didn't have any luck with that at all last year.
Deer?
Yes. So I'm not sure what the solution's going to be, but we're going to try.
Yes, I love sunflowers. And we're also going to, because we have our big fences up finally, we have to put some sort of windbreak on the inside. So we're talking about elderberries, at least for the food plot. Every time we've tried elderberries in the past, the deer have pretty much nuked them, so now we're going to give it a real shot to see if it works. And we're also doing hackberry. So, I mean, we've got a lot of exciting stuff that it just gets me excited just, thinking about it. But we still have a couple of months.
What's the new stuff that you're trying? You mentioned the hackberry. That's new, right?
Yeah. So the hackberry, we're going to give that a shot. We're also going to be planting, we're going to try carragana. I've heard, I've never been a fan of it, but it's supposed to be really good for as far as windbreak.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. We're also going to try to get some aspens growing up closer to the house because, we like aspens too. So, yeah, so those are exciting things we are actually planning on. There's stuff I wish we could do, but we just don't have the climate for it.
Yeah, or the length of the growing season is the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've seen things that, maybe I could grow it, but by the time it matures, the season's over or whatever, and it just can't survive or can't get stabilized, I guess.
Yeah.
So what would be the thing that you wish you could plant?
Wisteria looks absolutely amazing, and I would love to be able to grow that, but it's not going to thrive in this climate. I think we'd have it one season, and then winter comes along, and that's it. We've tried stuff like honey locusts, which I guess is really good for bees, but it again, the winter, it just can't survive the winters here. There's this one tree that I would kind of like, but it is, I want to say Zone 3B, which we are borderline. It's called a hop hornbeam. And it's just a name that intrigues me. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's a great looking tree, but it's got these catkins that look like hops. So, and it's actually an ironwood, so it's a really hard wood.
So the deer couldn't really eat it very well once it matures. Right.
The problem is we have bucks that love to rub their antlers on the trees and strip bark. They've actually gotten to a couple of our cottonwoods, which is just frustrating as hell. Because the cottonwoods are like the biggest trees we have on our property right now. Because
we want them to be able to stay there.
Because,
yes. Because most of the things that we plant when it comes to trees and bushes and stuff are not going to be something that we reap the benefit of.
No.
In all reality.
Not us old ladies.
No, not us crabby old ladies. One thing did you order anything from the state nursery this year?
Yes. We ordered some pines and hackberries and carragana. And they're actually offering seeds. So we bought some seeds just to try.
Did you have any luck in getting what you wanted? So I went out the same day. I did. Now I will say I wasn't out there first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But I went out the same day, and almost all of it was all sold out already.
But we logged in as soon as the portal opened. It was already all sold out except for a few things.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened or why everything was gone immediately.
Yeah, so I ordered some ponderosa pines, which, I have a ton of ponderosa pines around my house.
Yeah.
And I love them. But when we did the remodel, they had to take some out, which is sad. I didn't want to see that happen. And there's just a few that ended up getting damaged and that I'm not sure that they're going to survive. So I ordered 9, which is a lot. I might share some with the forest, but
hey, why not?
But I'm kind of excited about that. But I did get some seeds too. I got some of they had some coneflower seeds, and what was the other one?
What was that purple flower?
Yeah, it was a purple flower. I don't know.
What it's called.
I got some of those too.
Okay, yeah.
So same thing, but So I've always kind of wanted to grow citrus. Like whenever I go to California or Florida and stay there, and sometimes they'll have citrus fruits. I always think that would be kind of fun, but that's obviously never going to happen.
Not here.
Right, not going to happen here, but oh well. So, a few weeks back, you recommended a couple of books to me, just going way back. When we did our last podcast, it was Halloween. Yeah. We started talking about witches. And when we kind of went down a little rabbit hole, that happens a lot with Shelly. We went down a little rabbit hole, started talking about witches a little bit, and then we decided, hey, you know what? This is a topic that could be a podcast in and of itself, so we should kind of wrap that up. So we'd been thinking about witches, and I went down this thought process of, I like magic. Growing up, I liked magic. When I was a young adult, my kids loved Harry Potter. It was all during that whole time when those books were being released and the movies and all of that, and there's something just really kind of fun about magic in that sense. But what I've noticed is like the last 10 or 15 years of my life, whenever I start thinking about witches, for some reason, I go more towards this whole idea of women who have been persecuted for different ideas or challenging authority and traditionally just not being respected for that, and that's what I think of when I think of witches a little bit more. But then you shared some books with me, and I'd like maybe you could tell me how you got there with this whole concept of the Green Witch.
Okay, so like you, as a young girl, I was very intrigued by witches. I really wanted to be one because I thought that would be so amazing to be able to cast spells and stuff like that. And even in elementary school, there was a book that I had checked out for months on end because I just kept reading it over and over again. It was called something like Spells, Sorcery, and Secrets or something like that. And it was just, to me, it was amazing. And then as I grew up, organized religion was I always struggled, especially for me, because there were so many unanswered questions. I like mystery, but I also like to be able to understand. And that's why I guess I don't have faith, because faith requires belief without understanding. It just is something like that. So, but back to the whole witch topic, when we were talking about it last Halloween, Marvel had a television series called Agatha All Along, and what I really liked about it is a lot of the actresses were our age. They're older women portrayed as powerful witches. And then there was one of the witches was a green witch, which I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So, I did some Googling, and it was really not what I was expecting. And so I bought a book off of Amazon called The Green Witch. And so I started reading it, and I'm like, wow. Because the philosophy presented in the book was like, I've been practicing that pretty much all my life without realizing that it was actually something. The Green Witch is pretty much an environmental steward. She doesn't, believe in the deity, but she's all about the nature, which, the gardening, the plants, protecting the land, working with the land, honoring the land. So that got me excited, and so I thought, oh, this is cool. So I'll share the book with you to see what you think. So what did you think?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, kind of the same experience. So growing up, some of my fondest memories with my dad, he's really the person that probably I would say influenced me to be interested in gardening and the outdoors to that degree, when we're talking about being outside and in nature. And I just have these really great memories of being outside with the plants, and even sitting down and talking to the strawberry plants as a little toddler or something, and picking strawberries or carrots or whatever that might be. And so and then I spent a lot of my adulthood not having the ability to do that. So when we did this remodel, this has really been something that I really want to do. And that whole feeling, that connection, to me is about the closest to a religious experience that I have. Because I'm the same way, it's not that I have anything against religions or anything like that, but there's just always something that disappoints me.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you shared that book with me and I'm reading that and I'm thinking, yeah, you know, I mean, sure, there's a whole magical component to that and the whole witchcraft part of that, but there's so much of it that makes sense, you know, the connection to nature, the herbalism or growing plants for healing or for, in their cases, maybe spells or whatever, but plants, honoring the earth, working with natural energies and respecting living things, that's all about us.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah. Anne said this is her people. And I'm like, it's my people too.
Yeah.
And I thought, that it's just really cool, the concept. And whether you think of it as a craft, you know, or just kind of a core belief system, I'm like, man, that really makes a lot of sense to me. Those are the things that are important to me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I thought it was really cool. And so then you recommended another set of books. I've only started reading the first one, and I've been listening to them. They're Terry Pratchett's Weird Sisters, and there's a bigger name to that. But anyway, really fun. I'm recommending it right now. So there you go. What I think is really fun about it, and this whole concept of the Green Witch, is how humanized they are.
Yeah.
They're really, they're humans, they're powerful. They have powers. You know, it's a fantasy book, right?
Yes.
So they have power, but the power is in their humanity and their connection to the earth and the world around them.
Right, right. I mean, and that's exactly like I said, you know, what we've been doing this entire time unknowingly, you know, taking care of our soil by composting, you know, worms, no chemicals, planting plants, not just for harvest,
And
but
not just for us, but also for the bees and the birds and the bats and
the damn deer.
And the deer. And the bunnies.
And the deer.
Yes. And the deer. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I struggle with that portion of philosophy because the deer are just so destructive.
Oh, but they're fun too.
They're pretty, but man, are they destructive, especially when you pay a couple $100 for a tree and they destroy it.
They probably don't honor the earth as much as they should. Maybe we need to give them some lessons. Anyway. Yeah, so like, and there's no deity in this whole, there's no, like, this all-powerful being that is telling you what's wrong or what you can and can't do.
Or disapproves
It's about collaborating with other creatures so part of the Weird Sisters, this was something I just not too long ago read, was the whole concept that the earth, not just the living animals, but the earth and the trees and the plants, they're also living. Yeah. They are, you know, and treating them as such, right? Not just as something that is there for your benefit, but also as something that we need to share the world with.
Right. And, you know, just like, even if you're out and you see a plant, don't take it. Leave it alone. Let it do its thing. Or if you are interested, maybe take a little of it. Not, you know, just take a portion and then leave the rest.
Yeah.
So,
not taking all of the earth. Not planting, although you may have to reel me in once I actually can plant things. But not planting for yourself 100% of the space that you have. Leaving some of it to itself on its own. Yeah, we have left a portion of our property untouched deliberately. Right. And that's important. And the side benefit of not taking everything, also, when there's plants out there, not picking all the flowers, is that then they reseed and repopulate. Yeah. In a lot of ways. Or if they don't, then they add to the better quality of the soil. Right. Right. If you treat it right. Right. Well, like you planting clover, because a clover is hugely beneficial. Lawns irritate me because all they do is take water. They don't provide anything back. Yeah, they're green,
big deal. So
Right.
But clover, it blooms. Bees love it.
Yeah.
It provides nutrition back into the soil. It prevents erosion. Clover is hugely beneficial, but nobody really plants it anymore,
No.
which is too bad.
I feel like there's a little bit of a movement, maybe, to
Yeah.
start doing more beneficial planting.
Mhm.
I think thyme's another one, right? Creeping thyme.
Yeah,
Have you heard
creeping
about
thyme.
that maybe not as good as clover. I don't know what the difference is. But legumes in general, right?
Yeah.
So planting legumes is a good cross.
Right.
Or like, what do you call that? Planting those types of things along with other things.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Oh, God.
Something crops.
Oh, I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
I'm struggling with that one
Never
because I
mind.
know what you're talking about, but the term is escaping me right at this point.
But honestly, and you may in this podcast hear a little bit of extra noise in the background because my granddaughter is upstairs running around, and quite honestly, I want there to be a planet that she can enjoy when she grows up, and have the things that are important to me also be important to her. And I know that my daughter and her family, they have similar thoughts as far as the importance of nature, their connection to nature and being outside. They actually don't mind being outside in this freaking cold.
Well,
that's fine. They can go spend as much time skiing and sledding and all of that they want. I'll just curl up by the fire with a book. So let's circle back to the Green Witch idea. So the thing that we connect to, in reading all the books that we've had and everything like that, the core beliefs of the Green Witch are connection to nature, herbalism and plants, honoring the earth, working with natural energies, like the whole kind of earth, wind, fire, water. And then respect for living things, which you and I have talked about, that depends on the living thing. Those are those 5 core beliefs where I think we can really wrap our heads around, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the whole philosophy of the Green Witch.
The Green Witch believes in living sustainably and minimizing their impact on the earth. So that, of course we've talked about composting, using eco-friendly products, sustainable agriculture. The Green Witch also feels a strong responsibility to protect the natural world. So, like you said, you want something to be there for your granddaughter. And I agree. I think, especially in this day and age, I'm very concerned with environmentalism. And I just can't wrap my head around, like, okay, so we have this river called the Smith River. It's pristine. And there's a mining company that wants to mine copper close to the river. And it's like, why? Why can we not have nice things?
Well, and why can't we learn from past experiences, right?
Right.
So, what...
Who was it that said history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes?
Yeah.
Mark Twain.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. So, one of the most important things to sustain life is our water.
Yeah.
Right? And there's so few... If we go global, even outside of the United States, we're really actually very fortunate in the United States in a lot of ways. But there are a lot of places that really struggle to have clean water. And it's so important that our greed gets in the way of... It just makes me mad.
It does.
I mean, our greed for other things or other comforts gets in the way. There's other things we could do.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that makes me mad.
Uh-huh.
So, okay.
So,
yes. Anyway.
We are, green witches. We care about the world around us, and we want it to be... We want to be able to share it.
Well, we want to honor it,
and
we want to respect it. It doesn't mean that we won't ever use any part of the earth.
Right.
We're part of it as well. But we want to honor it and be respectful so that it can continue.
Right. and continue in a way that's healthy.
Right. Heard of the Dust Bowl?
Yes, I have.
Whole nother podcast.
Yes, we could talk about that too. We could talk about a whole thing. Another philosophy that I found intriguing, of course, was no deities. So you're not putting something on a pedestal. You're not putting something above you. Everything is of the world. There's no unknowables.
Right.
At least...
Yeah, I agree. And then I think even with the Weird Sisters, there might be a little bit of a hierarchy there because but it's more about experience and sharing wisdom than it is about rules and regulations and what is right and wrong. I mean, right and wrong, I think it's important for us to understand that, but that whole kind of concept that there's this floating deity up in the sky.
Disapproving.
That rules over us as a moral judgment. I mean, I don't believe that. I think that if there is some type of deity or God, they are much more connected to the earth than that.
Right.
That's very separate.
Well, okay, so if the earth was created by God, and here we are polluting it, messing it up, would God really love us for that? I mean, he created a paradise for us, right? If this is what you believe. And yet...
Well, I mean, you know, that all gets into the whole religious thing. The idea is that God gave us free will to do with as we want, but at some point, if I was him or her or them, I'd be a little bit pissed off at the people, the humans of Earth, and how we've treated our planet. I also kind of question that. So this is going back to the Green Witch philosophy, which is they don't worship a deity. That's not part of that philosophy. This is interesting. Green Witches seeing the Earth as a living being full of energy and magic in there, and then really just striving to live in harmony with that and the cycles of that. So when we talk about the winter time, honoring the fact that there's a reason that we can't be out digging in the earth right now. The earth needs a chance to rest and recoup from its all the work and energy that it puts into the growing season, right?
Yeah. Everything needs a rest. There's a time.
I'm kind of getting off track here, but anyway.
So one of my heroes, Granny Weatherwax from the Weird Sisters Terry Pratchett book series.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't hold with paddling with the occult, said Granny firmly. Once you start paddling with the occult, you start believing in spirits. And when you start believing in spirits, you start believing in demons. And then before you know where you are, you're believing in gods. And then you're in trouble. But all of them things exist, says Nanny Ogg. There's no call to go around believing them. It only encourages them.
That's right. So it's the whole idea of putting them on a pedestal. I really liked that when you said earlier. So even if they do exist, and even if we do believe that they exist, by putting that on a pedestal, it really just creates
a hierarchy.
It creates this hierarchy that we're... That's not the one I wanted to look up. Okay, we're spiraling. We're spiraling now. So back to Green Witch philosophy.
Celebrate the seasons.
Celebration of the seasons, yeah. So while they don't have a specific deity or anything like that, I think that in their idea of honoring the earth,
right,
and that whole kind of celebration of the seasons is a big part of that.
Yeah.
With that in mind, maybe we're not crabby old ladies. Maybe we're just wise women.
Maybe.
Or
maybe we're green witches.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.